So, I'm doing another update involving this arrogant prick known as Daniel Pantaleo. Now, the last time we talked about him, it was just talking about how he got fired from his job as an NYPD officer after they pretty much secretly had been keeping him on the job since he killed Eric Garner back in 2014. And then, of course, he was not really he wasn't charged with anything. He wasn't even found guilty of anything. I don't think there was even a trial. Like, he just pretty much skated on by and was still collecting a check, and he was fired just a few months ago after still collecting payments, whether through probably GoFundMe and through his position in the department. Well, now it has come out that Daniel Pantaleo is now suing or plans to sue the NYPD in order to get his job back. Am I surprised by this? No, I'm not. But you know what? There's one thing I can say that I like about Daniel Pantaleo, and I'm loving that he's showing all of his colors. He's not trying to hide it. I have yet to hear this man apologize to the family. Not that it would mean anything. It wouldn't even be genuine. I'm loving to see, like I said, I like to see my people out in the open, like the people who are like him out in the open. I like the people who are overt, not covert. That way you don't have to try to guess what type of person they are. You just know based off of their actions and their tone and their attitude. And you can just look at this picture right here and just tell that this guy is just one big ass arrogant prick. So I'm going to go ahead and read this article coming from Vox. It says Daniel Pantaleo, the NYPD officer who was fired in August for using a department prohibited chokehold that contributed to the death of unarmed Eric Garner in 2014, has filed a lawsuit to get his job back. This also shows you right here that Daniel Pantaleo is not probably not doing well financially either. See, he probably can't get a job anywhere else because of his reputation now. And he feels that the only place that he can get a job is through the NYPD. And since he knows that he is I guess you can say a public figure, but not for the right reasons, he just can't simply go in the way that he came in. He has to sue the department to try to get them back in. That way he can stronghold them to getting him his job back, and he can get some money out of it at the same time. The lawsuit, which was filed by Pantaleo's lawyer Stuart London in Manhattan Civil Court on Wednesday, argues that the former officer firing was arbitrary and capricious. Now, what I did was I looked up what those two words meant, because I heard of arbitrary, but I never heard of capricious. Arbitrary means based on random choice or personal whim rather than any reason or system. Now, the word capricious means, hold on, let me type it in. Given to sudden and unaccountable changes of mood or behavior. So basically, they're just saying that he's being sued off of the strength of their own personal reasons of wanting to fire him, and not for an actual legit reason, even though it's really legit. Basically, they're saying, well, if you wanted to fire me, you would have done it back then when this happened, not wait until now to do it. Which they should have. They should have been fired him. They should have fired him way back when this happened, but they let him stay in the department. They just didn't let him be on the street. He was pretty much restricted to desk duty for the last, 5 years. So he wouldn't be out in the open. London also told the New York Post that he hopes the state will find that an NYPD judge was wrong to recommend that Pantaleo be fired earlier this year following an administrative trial. When NYPD Commissioner James O'Neill fired Pantaleo, he pointed to NYPD Judge Rosemarie Maldonado's August recommendation that the officer lose his job for recklessly using the chokehold and for making an implausible and self-serving argument as to why he had done so. Garner's death first drew national attention in July 2014, when a video taken by bystander Ramsey Order showed Pantaleo using a prohibited chokehold on Garner after the officer had approached the man for allegedly selling untaxed loose cigarettes. The firing meant that Pantaleo was no longer eligible to receive his pension, but he would be given any money that he had already paid into it. And I wonder how much that was. News of the new lawsuit was praised by some police groups in New York City, including the Sergeants Benevolent Association. Oh yeah, that was another part. Those pro police groups, oh, they was mad as all hell when he got fired. They let the sparks fly when they got wind that he was fired. It says he never should have been fired. He was scapegoated by a cowardice police commissioner. The group tweeted on Tuesday. The real story as to why officers were making arrests for loose cigarettes was never told. But the thing of the matter is they can say all of that, but they still fail to point out or put in their arguments that he still used an outlawed illegal chokehold. They keep leaving that part out, which is why Eric Garner is dead today, which is why Daniel Pantaleo is under the microscope he's under right now. But they'll leave that part out. They tell these half truths, if there's any truth to whatever it is that they're saying. Period. Let's see. The suit has strongly been criticized by police reform advocates who argue that Pantaleo should not get his job back and should actually face more punishment for Garner's death, which I agree. In recent months, Garner's mother, Gwen Carr, had also called for other officers involved in Garner's 2014 arrest to be disciplined and held accountable. Pantaleo's decision to seek his reinstatement is not only disrespectful to the police commissioner, NYPD, but also the Garner family. I'm not going to say who said that, but it was a true statement, but I'm not going to say who it was. Just know they have Reverend at the beginning of their name. He has shown no contrition or acknowledgement of his violent actions that ultimately killed Eric Garner. And the next part just says it took years for Pantaleo to face discipline for the 2014 arrest that led to Garner's death. You're right. It did take years because, like I said, he never got fired. They just transferred him to another position that was not on the street, and there wasn't a trial, and he wasn't charged. They just fired him in August. So like I said, he was still collecting a check. He probably had to downsize a little bit, but he was still getting paid by that department. And I guess they thought that, oh, we fired him and that was supposed to make everything be okay. They better be smart and not hire this guy back. Because who knows what may happen if they actually do. I mean, they already tread on thin ice as being one of the most corrupt departments in the establishment anyway. Like, you don't want to put somebody who was corrupt back into your department. Not that it would really matter, because you take one out, you're replacing with about 10 more. There are other Daniel Pantaleos out there. We're just waiting to see them come to the surface. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I will talk to you in the next one.